Hello everyone, welcome to J-Hook Crochet and More. Today's video is a yarn review of a new yarn from Hobbii. If you do not know Hobbii, it is a yarn company based in Denmark, and I will link their website in the description box below this video. They ship worldwide in very reasonable prices and have a huge selection of yarns on their website. It is my absolute all-time favorite website to buy yarn from. And before I begin, I just want to tell you I am not affiliated with them in any way. The link underneath, it is not an affiliate link. So this review is strictly my opinion of their yarns. The yarn I'm reviewing today is called Manaya. It is made of 65% superwash wool. This is South American wool and 35% acrylic. Now, according to the Hobbii website, this yarn is kind of a limited edition yarn. It does say that they have a limited amount of each color and that they will not get more. So if you like this review and if you were interested in purchasing this yarn, I would suggest going on the website and getting it as soon as possible. According to now, we are talking March 2020, they are also on sale on the website. So they go for regular price is about $22, $23 if I remember correctly. And right now they are on sale for 30% off on this yarn. Let's talk about the yarn itself a little bit. So as we've said, Manaya, 65% superwash South American wool, 35% acrylic. As you can see, it is a self-striping yarn, and I think each one of the balls has 4 color changes in it. You can see that it has a large amount of wool. You can see the woolly fuzz. However, it is not scratchy or itchy. It is soft wool. If you are allergic to wool though, then of course this yarn is not for you. But if you do like working with wool and just sway away from it because of it being itchy sometimes, this is not something that I would sway away from. I mean, I would definitely wear this around my neck as a scarf. I think it will be great for a scarf and hat set, poncho, something like that. So let's go and look at the tag. There are 200 grams in each ball. That's about 510 meters, so a good amount. One ball will definitely make a good set of scarf and hat. You maybe need 2 of them or 1.5 to make a poncho, and probably 2 to 3 of them to make an adult sweater. The recommended needle size is 5 millimeter and the recommended hook size is also 5 millimeters. It is a medium weight 4 and it does say that it is designed in Denmark and made with love in Turkey. You can wash it by 30 degrees and I do believe that because of the wool component in the yarn, you should not put it in the washer or the dryer and you should probably lay it flat to dry. As I've said, a very soft and not itchy wool. It does have this fuzz to it, as you would expect. I got myself 2 colors, and there are more colors available on the website, but as I've said, take under consideration that they do state on the website already now that they have a limited amount of each color. And according to what the website says right now, they are not planned on getting more once these sell out. This color is color number 3, and the color names are Orchard, Brownie, Turquoise, and Dark Blue. So that's what this is. This one has a bit of a dark rainbow look to it. This is color number 2 and the color name is Curry, Blue, Olive, and Saffron. I really like this a lot. Now, not many people know this, but on the Hobbii website, there is a huge selection of suggested patterns. All of the patterns on the website are free, and all you have to do is go on the website, find a pattern that you like, and most of them are sorted by yarn. So once you go on the website onto the Manaya page, then you will see a small button that says patterns, and if you press on that, it will show you the patterns that are currently on the website, which are specifically designed for this yarn. Of course, you can also choose any other one of their beautiful patterns and make it in this yarn, but there are also patterns who are specifically designed for this one. And at the moment, they have a beautiful knitted pattern of a sweater, and that pattern uses the Manaya yarn, just one ball of the Manaya yarn combined with one more ball of regular alpaca wool. So I think that this is a great, if you're a knitter, it is a great pattern. I have looked at it. I think that's what I'm going to make with mine. And all you have to have is just one ball of this yarn. However, there are so many patterns out there that can work great with this, and I love that you get such a big amount. Look at this ball of yarn. You can look at it in my hands to see how big it is, and there are 200 grams, 510 meters per ball. That is already a very large amount of yarn. That can make a very large selection of one ball projects, because the ball itself already has so much yarn in it. And I like that you don't have to keep coming back and buying more, especially when you're talking about a limited edition kind of yarn. You don't want to be in a situation where you started a project, you ran out of it, and it's not available anymore. So I'm gonna get my hook out and we're gonna make a little batch, and I will show you how this yarn works up. So this is the batch that I've made, and I just worked rows of double crochets until I had all 4 colors in there. I wanted to show you the color changes in the yarn so you can get more or less an idea of what it looks like. Now you can see that the color changes are very subtle, and I really like that. It kind of looks like the colors are slowly blended into each other. Working with the yarn was very easy. I did not have too many problems, but I do want to say a few things. First of all, the yarn itself does not have an easy center pull. So if you're like me and you like to work your yarn from the center of the ball, then you're gonna have to really dig in there and find the beginning of the strand. If you like working your yarn from the outside of the ball, then that's very easy to find. But the center, it's kind of, you gotta really dig in there, and I ended up with pulling a whole bunch of yarn out. But that's, you know, not every one of the yarn balls or yarn cakes has an easy center pull. It's just spun that way. A lot of the Hobbii yarns do have an easy center pull, which is why I thought that it might have one, but I just ended up digging in there with my fingers until I got it all out. So that's just something that I wanted to say. I wanted to say one more thing about the yarn itself. When you look at the strand of yarn, it does get thinner in some places and thicker in others. Not to the point where it looks weird on the finished batch. I mean, you can see when you look at it, my stitches look more or less even. You can't really tell, but here you can clearly see that the yarn was thicker than here. If you're working on a garment, then, you know, adding another row of single crochets all around and making an edging will clear that out. But just look at that. You can clearly see here this bump on the batch that I made. The yarn on this specific area is thicker than the yarn on this specific area. So that's one more thing that I wanted to state. That is not to say that this yarn is better or not as good. It's just to say this is something you need to know. This is this kind of yarn that in some places is thicker and in other places it is thinner. And also the ball itself does not have an easy center pull. but working with it was very nice. It feels nice in the hands. It does not itch, or sometimes wool can get scruffy and then it's weird feeling when you work with it, but I did not get a lot of fuzz. You can see that my workstation is more or less clean of fuzz wool. So I think in that term was a very easy working material. And I want to do a little bit of frogging with you to show you. So as you can see, frogging goes quite easily as well. Sometimes wool can get tangled, all that fuzz, when the fuzz gets tangled within itself, sometimes it's hard to frog. This looks quite easy. Okay, this concludes my review of this yarn. My personal impressions, as I've said, it's very soft. It is very nice to work with, and I think it will make beautiful scarves. I think it will be great as a winter yarn. It does have a large percentage of wool in it, so I would not consider it a summer yarn, but definitely for winter or maybe early spring garments, beautiful. I think it will make a lovely poncho, sweaters, so just a large variety of things that you can do with it. The color change is very nicely made, so the colors sort of blend into one another, which I think works beautifully. You just have to take into consideration that the wool is spun in a way that it is thicker in some places and thinner in the others. And also, as I've said, my personal minus is that you don't have an easy center pull. Other than that, great yarn. I highly recommend it. And if you do like it, and if you did get a good impression out of this review and want to check it out, then go on the Hobbii website. I will link it in the description box below this video, and you should grab it fast because, as I've said, it is a limited edition yarn. I hope you found this review helpful, and I hope that it was useful for you. If you have used this yarn before, please let me know in the comments what you made with it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for much more yarn-related content. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!